da 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 bum ba dum bum ba dum ba da dum ba da 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 dun da dun dun bum ba da dum ba da 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 dun 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 ba dum ba da dum ba da 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 dun 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 dun. Hello, my friends. Good evening. It's Monday night, and this is exactly where we should be. My name is Joette Calabrese, and I am here every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for one thing and one thing only, and that is to teach you homeopathy and for you to share your information as well. For me to tell you where you can go to get more information so that you have freedom from fear, freedom from angst, and worrying about getting sick. Oh, and for those who do know me already, welcome, my friends. It's wonderful to see you. We're on Facebook, we're on X, we're on Rumble. We're all over the place now. And I ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Yes. Hello from cold Toronto. Yeah. Lots of snow in my area of Buffalo, New York. I'm not there now. I'm in Florida. But where I grew up, where I lived, where we raised our children, and where some of my children still live, they got, in some areas, they got 4 feet of snow last night. You bet. Hello from New Jersey and from Toronto and from Texas and Australia. And it's wonderful to see all of you from St. Paul, Burr. It is cold. It's a good cold time. It's January. And so we're going to talk tonight about exactly what happens at this time of the year, right? What happens? People get sick. They get sick. We're going to talk about some remedies. Okay, that's what I want to do tonight. Hi. From Lynchburg, Virginia. Yay, the Bills won. Yes. I'm glad you're all safe, says someone else. Yes. Congrats on the Bills win, Joette. Yes, it's great. Yeah, the Buffalo Bills are very important for Buffalo, New York. It really changes the timbre of the town when the Bills win or if they lose. You're right. I don't miss shoveling snow. I know. Okay, let us talk about colds and what happens. You can probably tell by my voice. It sounds like I'm a smoker, doesn't it? Well, I've got something. I've got a little something, and I've had it for a few days. And I thought it was perfect. I mean, that's what I was going to talk about, and then I got a little something. And so, is it a big something? No. And so we're going to talk about the most important remedies to consider for these events. I'm going to call them events. I'm not going to call them a virus, a cold, a flu, because how do we even know what the heck it is? I mean, if you've got something, is it a cold? Is it a flu? How do we know what it is? And do you need to identify that? Must you know? Because homeopathy, although we do use these methods that what I teach, which is based on protocols, a lot of it, is that we do need... we do often find it very useful to have the name of a condition, but we don't need to know the name of a virus, do we? No. Give me the symptoms. Give me the symptoms. And my friends, do not be afraid of symptoms. Symptoms are our gifts. We love symptoms because without them, how do we determine what the heck to do? Homeopathy is based on symptoms because symptoms never lie. They represent something that's deeper. Something that's maybe something we do not see, that we don't even comprehend. We just use the symptoms. Worse from movement, better from warmth, worse from cold, worse at night, better from eating, etc., etc. Pain on first movement, pain on every joint, pain and only on the left side, pain, etc., etc. You see how beautiful that is? It tells us everything. Now, I'm going to show you something. This is 3rd edition of Homeopathic Clinical Repertory by Robin Murphy. And I'm going to show you the area, it's in the clinical section, under colds. Okay, we're going to start with that. I'm going to show you, because when they say, well, what's the remedy for colds? Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you with my index finger. You see that? You see all those words there? Those are all remedies. Those are all the names of the remedies that can be related to someone getting colds, especially a tendency to get colds. How many are there? I'm going to say there could be 150 remedies in that rubric. It's called a rubric. And then we can also go into colds with fevers, colds with cough, etc., and it breaks it all down. So, what are the medicines? I've talked about this many times. I got to tell you, I love Cold Calm. I do not get any kickbacks from Boron. Make that clear. I want you to understand this. I just happen to like this company. There are a lot of homeopathic manufacturers, pharmacies, that I like. Cold Calm by Boron is excellent. I also like, for me, I like Nux Vomica. I've said that before. It helps me a great deal. Because why? Because I'm far too sedentary. I work. I'm always in the head. I'm always putting curriculums together, putting courses together, writing, editing, etc. That's what I do all day long. I'm not an athlete. I don't work out. I mean, I walk on the beach, but I even miss some days doing that. So Lux Vomica helps me a great deal. I also like oscillococcinum, also made by Boron. I also like Aconitum 200, Bryonia 30. It's a Banerjee protocol for cold. Because how do we know if it's a flu or a cold? I also like, I'm just going to go through these because I have the humdinger of all remedies coming up in a moment. But let me go through some of these. I also very much like Hyposinium. Love that word. Hyposinium. And that is my assistant, Kate, swears by Hyposinium. I would use that in a 200. I like Nux Vomica in a 200. Okay, you hear my deep voice? I sound sultry, don't I? You know what's the best medicine of all? Top notch? Is to do this. Ignore it. What the heck? Who cares? So you get a cold. So you cleanse. It's a cleansing. My voice is raspy because my sinuses have been draining. I don't have as much energy as I usually do, so that tells me I should be sleeping more. I should put my feet up in the middle of the day, maybe even take a little siesta for half an hour. Sleep, absolutely. Drink bone stock. Drink more water. Get out in the sun and get some vitamin D. My friends, the best remedy is nothing. Do nothing. Just live your life. I can't tell you the fear that's around us, surrounding. We are in a soup of worries and worries about cooties. Stop worrying about cooties. Oh, my daughter-in-law gave this to me. Oh, my neighbor's child. Oh, I worked in the school with my kids. They gave it to me. Stop. I can't hear it anymore. Stop. Who cares? Is it a virus? Who knows? We don't know. We don't care. I wrote an article years ago, my friends, titled, it's on my blog, and it's also just in the internet. It's called Get Your Kids High. It's all about fever. Your kids are supposed to get fevers. Oh, but they're uncomfortable. So? Life's not comfy, my friends. Let me tell you that if you leave it alone and stop administering the Tylenol and finding out what kind of virus it is, and I found out, you know what mine is? My strain is the Delta strain. I know what I was tested. I know what it is. My friends, let us be comfortable, understanding that these are cleansings. We're supposed to just relax, let it go. And if your child gets a fever, hallelujah. The higher the fever, 2 hallelujahs. But the child's uncomfortable. Yes, but if you leave that fever alone, just leave it alone and don't even think about homeopathy. That's how I started, my friends. I did not know homeopathy in the very beginning when I was raising my first child. I didn't know it. All I knew was I wasn't going to give him Tylenol. I wasn't going to give him antibiotics. I just wasn't going to get on that train. I wasn't going to find out what it is. Who cares what it is? We don't care. We know, you know, I know, we all know that within about 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a whopping 4 weeks, it'll be over with. And you know what will be on the other side of it, my friends, particularly for a child? There will be growth. That child who couldn't tie his shoes earlier, before he got sick, that little girl who couldn't ride a bike like her friends before she got sick, then she gets good and sick the way humans are supposed to do and get it out of our system and cleanse. And then he can tie his shoes and she can ride a bike. But if we suppress it with Tylenol and cough syrups and testing and angst, oh, but it's too uncomfortable. So what? In the long run, my friends, we should never tinker. Can we use homeopathic medicines? Yes, we can. But let me tell you that one of the most difficult things to figure out how to treat is this. Colds, viruses, flus, whatever you want to call them. This is the hardest thing to treat homeopathically. You know what's easy? Eczema's easy. Acne's easy. Rheumatoid arthritis, even we can help somebody tremendously with rheumatoid arthritis, with osteomyelitis, with osteoarthritis, with osteopenia, with hair loss, with anxiety. We can do so much with homeopathy. The hardest thing is this. And so what I'm telling you is, can you use a homeopathic medicine when someone in your family gets sick? Yes, you can. I just told you what you could consider. I already told you. Should you always? I'd like you to rethink it and think in terms of this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to cleanse, and it is a cleansing. The sinuses release, sneezing. I started out sneezing. My nose was all stuffed up. So what? I was uncomfortable, couldn't sleep very well. So what? I sat up and slept that way. And then the next day, I needed a little more sleep. Drank some bone stock, drank lots of water, put a pinch of salt in my water or electrolytes in my water. And took it easy. Yes, take it easy. Leanne just said something beautiful. Fear equals stress equals illness. Do not be afraid of these things. Even a cough. I have a cough. You won't. I don't know if you'll hear me cough. I was coughing this morning. And it burned. Oh, God. It burned. What? Oh, my God. Clutch my pearls. So what? So what? It's not a chronic illness. Chronic illness is something else. And we know in homeopathy that if we suppress acute illnesses, such as colds, flus, whatever it is we want to call this, it drives it to a deeper state. Tylenol has been shown in certain studies to cause asthma, sometimes within minutes of giving it. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 doses. Sometimes it takes a couple of episodes of using it. So what we're doing is trading. Oh, we don't want that poor person to be uncomfortable, but in the long run, we're going to give them asthma? Can we put aside a couple of weeks, 3 weeks of slowing down, of realizing what's really important in life? Time to slow it down. So if you check out my article called Get Your Kids High, I do give you medicines, homeopathic medicines to consider for a fever. Not for the child, it's for the parent. Because the parent is too worried. The parent is overly worried. We have been trained in our world to be afraid of everything. That's why everyone goes to get checked up for this, endoscopy, colonoscopy, mammogram, test this, check that, ooh, a bump on the body, ooh, have it biopsied. I'm going to tell you, if you really want my opinion, my friends, you could use some homeopathic medicines if you find that they're just not acting. Go to bed. Go to bed, say a prayer, go to bed. Call it a night. Get the kids who are sick with you, round them all up, put them all in the bed with you. Everybody's coughing. So what? That is life. And I have to tell you, compared to the way some people live in other parts of the world, we don't sleep on straw beds here, my friends, where there are bed bugs. We don't wonder where the next meal is coming from. That's not the world that we live in North America and in Europe. It isn't. People are suffering in other parts of the world where there's war and governments and atrocities. We don't have that here. And I actually begin to think that the reason that we are so worried about these cooties is because we don't have real worries. We know that we're going to get food. We know we're going to have heat in the house. We know that we're going to, in Florida or South, we're going to have air conditioning. We know that the next day will come and it will be similar to the previous days. So get the cootie idea, because you see what happened to the world the last 4 years? These cooties, this idea that we need to be protected. This is going to protect us, and this is going to protect us, and staying our distance is going to protect us is garbage, my friends. And if we carry on and still think this way again and again, and it's known that we still think this way, guess what's going to happen again? Yes, thank you, Marissa. We should stop looking at acute sickness as a failure. We need to let our bodies get sick and heal themselves so we can build the antibodies. It's like we forgot that somewhere over time. Marissa, you're so right. You are so right. Can you suppress a cold flu by using remedies? I've been able to keep not catching what's going around by using protocols because I can't afford to be down with anything at this time. Caretaking. There's my cough, which hurt a little bit. No big deal. In fact, I'm telling you that it hurt a little bit because you need to know this morning it was more painful. I'm not telling my husband that it hurts. I am not going to declare that, because by declaring that to the person who's closest to me, it gets me thinking the wrong way. I don't see homeopathic medicine suppressing. I just don't see that. Some people declare that happens. I've never seen it. I know that Hahnemann said in one of his aphorisms, I can't remember which one it was, that homeopathic medicines used incorrectly can suppress. But later on, things changed for him. Yes, thank you for doing this. Our whole family got sick at the same time, and this never happens. Yes, and you know what? Enjoy it. Oh, look, I don't have to go to work, might your husband say. Oh, look, the kids don't have to go to school. If you're homeschooling, so we just don't do any homeschooling. The beauty of it. Snuggle down. Everybody gets chicken soup. Everybody wears their fluffy slippers, keeps their robe on, and pads around the house and flops down on the couch. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Even if it's a cough. Now, I'm going to tell you. Are there diseases that can come from this that could be serious? Well, of course. Yes. Could you get pneumonia? Yes, one could. Yes, one could. But does that mean if we're worried about if this happens, then that could happen? Then I would say, my friends, do not leave your home. Do not get in a car, because it's more likely that you're going to get hit by a car than you are to get pneumonia. Car accidents are common. So what do? Not go into a car because we're worried that we could have an accident? We don't think that way. It's too important to be able to get in the car. It's too convenient. So I want you to think this way about this stuff too. And if somebody gets pneumonia or whooping cough, I got all that information on my website, on my blog. It's right there. You have homeopathic medicines that you can use. But until that time, my friends, think of it as a cleansing. An opportunity to take life slower. I feel like today, with popularity of homeopathy, people are remedying their kids for everything. No one lets colds just be colds anymore, and they hop from remedy to remedy for every little thing. And that, my friend, that's Pam who said that, and I agree with you, Pam. And that is fear of the parents. I urge people to read my article, Get Your Kids High by Joette Calabrese. You can find it on the internet or on my blog. But also get a hold of Dr. Robert Mendelssohn's book, How to Raise a Healthy Child, in spite of your doctor. Jewish penicillin, says Pat from Kansas. You're absolutely right. Hold on. Leanne says unplug. Yes. So for clarity's sake, it's okay to remedy with protocol so you don't get sick. I would like it to run its course normally, but at this time, I'm dealing with compromised individuals. Look, I don't know everyone's circumstances, but if you're working with compromised individuals, perhaps because of that work, you might need some time off to allow yourself to get sick. But I don't know your circumstance, so I'm not going to jump the gun on that. Yes, for clarity's sake, it's okay to remedy with protocols. So that you don't get sick, my concern about that is that I worry that you worry. I don't want you to think, I could get sick. I don't want you to think like that. People come around me a lot. My husband and I have been doing a lot of traveling lately, a lot of road trips. And people say, I got a cold. Don't. And I say, I don't care. I don't even know that it's catchy. I don't even know that I catch things from people. I really don't know. Okay, I just stack up my home every paycheck. Tomorrow is bone broth day because we wiped it out within the last month. You go, Tina. If I don't feel sick, I don't treat. I like that better, my friends. I would wait until there is a condition before we start to treat. Because if we treat before, now let me put it to you this way. I've said this before. I went to India, worked at the Banerjee Clinic for those many years. And as a Westerner going to a crowded city like India, I was exposed to many opportunities to catch things that I've not been exposed to in the past. I don't have an immunity to. When I went, I was in my 60s, and I have to say, I didn't go to, balls. I didn't go to, a dinner out in Calcutta. I went to a clinic where everybody there was sick, and it was so packed and so busy that my dear friend, Dr. Vivekta Sharma, used to hold my hand and pull me through the throngs of people, through the vestibule and onto the street, and even further because there was the throngs of people were so tight. And I was exposed to everything. Now, I was exposed to many, many infectious diseases. Did I take homeopathic medicines in advance? Oh my gosh, I'd do nothing else if I had to do that. What about the tuberculosis I was exposed to? What about the whooping cough? What about the excuse me, what about the unknown diseases, the dysentery, but I was exposed to so many diseases that if I took a medicine, homeopathic medicine, as a prophylactic for that, I would do nothing else. I'd be popping pills all day long just in case I was exposed to this or this or that or this or this or this or this or that. Okay, I'm still trying to get my friends to be okay with their kids getting colds and us getting together. Everyone is so paranoid. I know. We have, our world has been trained to be afraid. Yes. It's soup also called Italian penicillin, says Helen. Replying to, okay. Oh, here we go. Do we have any homeopathy to stop worrying about everything, especially health in my family? Absolutely, we do. My whole course on mindful homeopathy. Go to Joette's Learning Center, and go right there and find the course titled Mindful Homeopathy. It's all about worry. It's all about anxiety. It's all about ADD and ADHD and excuse me, and all of those kinds of conditions. Yes, worry about health. Worry about whose health? Worry about your health? Worry about your child's health? It's all broken down. Yes, arsenicum album is one. Phosphorus is another. Aconitum is another. These are medicines that, yes, if it's too much, if you're worrying all the time about your children's health, it becomes the mother's pathology. Yes, thank you. Yes, arsenicum is one of them. Yes. All my jabbed friends keep getting sick. No immunity. Absolutely. The more we put synthetic drugs of commerce directly into the subdural and then directly into the bloodstream, the more likely we're going to be sickly. Yes. So Leanne says, I always take a tube of oscillococcinum, just one when I travel in the winter. Yes. Yeah, it's good. These are good ideas. I keep a kit in my car under the passenger seat at all times. And I can't tell you how many times I've had to use that when we've gone to someone's house for dinner and someone is sick. Well, I'm not necessarily cold, but anything, I don't know, arthritis or something. And I say, well, I know exactly the medicine you need. Hold on a second. I go into the car. My husband sometimes graciously runs in there for me, pulls it out, and then I give it to them. Let's see. I'm replying, I don't mind the coughs and colds. It's the vomiting that I avoid. Yes. Well, but vomiting is very easily dealt with homeopathically. But even that, sometimes we just have to get it out. Diarrhea, just have to get it out. But we know what to use for vomiting because I've written about it on my blog. We know all of that. So all you have to do is look that up. But when it comes to coughs and this kind of stuff that you're hearing in me right now, it's very difficult to come up with exactly the medicine. I gave you some names of some. Another one that Kate mentioned to me that she found very useful. She's my assistant and helps me run the. Actually, she runs the academy. Is Variolinum, another good one. We always would use that in a 200C. We wouldn't use it for long, but I like Hippozenium 200 because it's great for bronchitis if it gets that far. But I've also written about bronchitis. Yes. Let's see. Joe at Under the Seat Kit. Please give us the list. Yeah, I mean, that is a great kit. They're not manufacturing it anymore. I'm so sorry about that. It's really frustrating. That's all the, really the top medicines. And if you don't know the top medicines, then it is, I do have it published somewhere. If anyone remembers where it's published. And Nathalie, if you're here, if you could pull up that article or how to what did I say? Get your kids high. See if you could pull that up and give that put that link there. Or just go to my blog, and also I'm reading some of this. I'm still traumatized from 2021. So hated all the nonsense. Yes, Heather. Yeah, it is traumatizing when you see everybody falling for it. I mean, it makes me think that, it would be easy to sell most of these people a used car or some swampland in Florida. I mean, really, we have to know that they know how to get to us, how to frighten us, I remember I have a friend who years ago, when she was giving birth to her baby, she wanted to wait till the baby came naturally, but the doctor said, no, we're going to do it right away. And she said, no, I would really like to wait. I don't want a cesarean. She had started labor, but it stalled and stalled, because she didn't know about homeopathy. Otherwise, she would have been able to, like this, know exactly what to use, and the baby would have come in short order. But the doctor said this to her: do you want this baby or not? That's what he said to her when she was in labor. Do you want this baby or not? Amazing. The arrogance. My friends, stay away from that kind of arrogance. Learn how to do this yourself. Because if you know how to do this yourself, all that anxiety that you had, all that fear that something terrible is going to happen, melts away. It doesn't even become, it's not even a part of your consciousness. Excuse me. Sheeple. I agree. And the problem is that this medicine had been taken away from mothers and grandmothers, from the household 100 years ago. And I know you know the story. Most of you know the story about Rockefeller, who had a homeopath, by the way. He lived well into, 101, 103, something like that. He had a homeopath. He was a medical doctor, was a homeopath. He didn't travel without him. That's who he had with him at all times. But when it came to everybody else, he destroyed the alternatives. Homeopathy, botanicals, later chiropractic, etc. Their goal, hi Greg, is to promote fear while programming people's beliefs to follow their narrative in order to control the population. Yep, you got it. You folks have really got it. That's why we're all together here tonight. That is why we are together here tonight. That's what we're supposed to do. You can find lots of homeopathic medicines for colds and whatever is happening. But really, the true remedy, my friends, trust me on this. I'm an old woman now. Trust me on this. The fear, the worry is much greater than this short-lived, self-completing condition. And it's an opportunity to get everything cleaned out. And my guess is that on the other side, if you're stuck with fatigue, I talk about that too, if the fatigue is chronic. But if you're on the other side of these kinds of conditions, often we see that there is a leap. What should I do about my child? I don't know what to do about him. Should I homeschool? Should I keep him in school? I can't decide. Bam! Get sick. Clean out. Sinuses, coughing, sneezing, maybe a fever, perspiring, achy bones and joints, in bed, sleeping, sleep. Get up, cough, more coughing. Go through this for a few days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. On the other side of it, guess what? I practically guarantee you will come up with the answer to the plaguing question that arose before this condition commenced. Because there is a leap. But if we drug it and hide these symptoms and force them down and force a fever to go down, we don't come to our human ability to make the next move. This is about moving from here to here with some discomfort. It's all it is discomfort. Yeah, I didn't like staying up coughing the other night. I slept in the other room so I wouldn't bother my husband. So what? So what? You know what? While I was coughing, I was watching some great stuff on Rumble and other places. Yeah. And then I put my head down and I rested for a while and then I woke back up again. I was coughing again. So what? I'm happy to be where I am now. It's been about, 5 days since this started for me. 4 or 5 days. It's a good thing. And that's the way I want you to think. It's a good thing. And so with that, my dear friends, love you. Like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can keep this going and we build our community even more strongly than this. And if you're not sure what to do and you don't know where to go and you don't know what to go to the blog, read my blog, study the blog, use it. It's free. It's free. And then join a gateway to homeopathy. That's where you're going to learn the most. That's where most people started. God bless you all. Mwah. See you next time. Bye.
With our homeopathic protocols, you learn all your remedies. My family needs a me, so I must know our remedies. How much to take, how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn all your remedies. Athusa, no dairy, it's elementary. With arnica head, arsenicum fed, spigelia slither, orms from wither, no more infirm. My family needs a me, so I improve my memory. Not only the rems, but how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With your homeopathic protocols, learn all your remedies. Bellaso red and arnica head, drosera bark, ignatia dark, source of frigid and cuprum to rigid, and crude itches, cali caponicum, let it melt on your gumbo, vista weed are some great ways to treat yellow. La 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 la, homeopathic protocols, learn all your remedies. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn your remedies. My family needs me, so I must know our remedies. How much to take, how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn your remedies. Athusa, no dairy, it's elementary. With arnica head, arsenic, fed, spigelia, slither, orms from wither, no more infirm. My family needs me, so I improve my memory. Not only the rems, but how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With your homeopathic protocols, learn your remedies. Bella so red and arnica head, drosera bark, ignatia dark, source of frigid and cuprum to rigid, and crude itches, calica barnicum, let it melt on your gum, bovies to wheat are some great ways to treat ya. La 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 la, homeopathic protocols, learn your remedies. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn your remedies. My family needs me, so I must know our remedies. How much to take, how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn your remedies. Athusa, no dairy, it's elementary. With arnica head, arsenic, fed, spigelia, slither, orms from wither, no more infirm. My family needs me, so I improve my memory. Not only the rems, but how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With your homeopathic protocols, learn your remedies. Bella so red and arnica head, drosera bark, ignatia dark, source of frigid and cuprum to rigid, and crude itches, calica barnicum, let it melt on your gum, bovies to wheat are some great ways to treat ya. La 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 la, homeopathic protocols, learn your remedies.